everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury and welcome to my channel. It's my daily vlog, so whatever I happen to be up to today is what you're going to see right here. You may have noticed that recently I've been doing a lot of home vlogs. I have not been out and about a lot lately, and there's a reason for that. I have a cruise coming up and I need to get COVID tested to go on the cruise. And because there is such a risk of being an asymptomatic carrier, I did not want to jeopardize my vacation. So I dialed back on my out and about. Even though I take a lot of precautions, I'm vaccinated, I wear my mask in indoor and crowded areas outdoors. I do all the things, right? I did not want to put my vacation at risk, so I really dialed it back. So now I'm 2 days before the ship sails and I need to get my COVID test. So I figured let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's going on. What are the requirements that are needed to get on this cruise ship? What do you need to do if you're going on a cruise soon? What are your options? So let's have a little chit chat about that. I'm sailing on Royal Caribbean. The rules for Royal Caribbean, and I specify that because it varies by cruise ship, by cruise company. For Royal Caribbean, sailing out of Bayonne, I also want to specify, depending on what port you're sailing out of, it could change also. So sailing out of Bayonne, which is like the New York City port for Royal Caribbean, this is what I needed to do. They are requiring any person 12 and older to be vaccinated. So if you are eligible for the vaccine, you need to have the vaccine. You need to show proof of the vaccine. So that COVID card, that's like the key to the kingdom, right? You need to show your COVID card to get on the ship along with your passport and, typical documents. In addition to your COVID card, you need to take a COVID test 2 days or less before sailing. Let me repeat that. Even though you are fully vaccinated, you need to present documentation of a negative COVID test 2 days that was taken 2 days before the ship sails. Children, so anyone that's under 12 and not eligible for a vaccine, are allowed to sail on Royal Caribbean, but they need to take a PCR COVID test 3 days or less before sailing and cannot be taken the day of sailing. On cruise day, they also need to take a second COVID test. Lots of testing going on. I don't know the specifics on the children. I have not been following beyond that basic bit because I am not sailing with children. From here on out, I'm just going to be speaking to if you are an adult going on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. So, I needed to get a rapid test for myself. If you are vaccinated, you do not need a PCR test. A rapid antigen test is acceptable, not an antibody test. Don't confuse the two. An antibody test will tell you if you ever had COVID in the past, but it is not testing for active illness. What you need is the antigen test. So, options. What can we do with that quick a turnaround? Especially because, there are case spikes. There's a lot of people testing right now. There are some places that are requiring testing for work. So testing is very, very much in demand right now. And this is a very short window that you have to get your test done and get your results back to be able to sail. So what did I learn on this journey? There are only a handful of places that take appointments for rapid testing. CVS is one of them, and you can make appointments about a week to 2 weeks out, but not every CVS does rapid testing, and in fact, more of them don't than do. In my area, there were only 2 CVSs that do rapid testing, and, I also checked on Long Island. There are 0 CVSs that do rapid testing there. So you have to, when you're looking online at like the different places, you have to make sure they have the correct kind of test that you need. So if you want to make an appointment for a rapid test, options are slim. I also checked Rite Aid. Rite Aid does not offer rapid testing options. I checked Walgreens. They say that their tests are rapid tests, but they send them out to a lab. So they don't have the 15-minute processing time. It's like 24 to 48 hour processing time. And then I'm not sure if the lab gets backed up by that. I get my results in time, right? Then there's the option of the walk-in clinics. So like the urgent cares. With these, no appointments. They don't even take appointments. And you just show up. And a lot of them are doing virtual queues. And you come at your scheduled time. What did I do? I had been hearing rumors that the urgent cares in my area were having like 5-6 hour wait times, and that if you're not there when they first open and in that line, you may not be seen that day. You know, you might not be dealing with this in a less populated area, but living so close to New York City, this is what I was contending with. And different areas, even, a couple miles away might be different. It might, you might just have to drive a little bit to not have to deal with quite the extreme situation that I'm dealing with. So I was concerned. So what I did, I made an appointment at the CVS, but the CVS was a bit of a schlep to get to the one that does the rapid testing. I also then went to the City MD, which is the urgent care. And I went in and I was like, how long is the wait? Happened to only be a 2-hour wait. They told me it was going to be like 1 to 2 hours. Great. Okay, I could deal with 1 to 2 hours. Virtual queue, they send me a text message. I tested out and made sure I got the message right away. In that text message, there's also a link so you can see what number you are in line. And then you get a text when it's time to return. So their texting, their virtual line system worked really well. I had no issues with it. When I checked my status in line, I was like stuck in the same place in line for a full hour. I was like number 9 in line, literally for a full hour. And then all of a sudden it started moving more quickly. And they actually sent me the text when it said I was number 4 in line. So the position in line part might not be super accurate. I'm not quite sure what that was about, but they did text me and the wait time was fairly accurate. It was about 2 hours, which was what I was quoted. Once you go in, they have you check in on a kiosk at this particular City MD that I went to. And, you have to show your ID and provide your insurance information. They do COVID testing if you don't have insurance also, but if you do, they want your insurance information. And, you put that all into the kiosk. They call you in. You meet with, I presume, like a medical assistant. They take your vitals, like your blood pressure and your oxygen level. They take your temperature. And then they do the COVID test. Now, the rapid test is not the one that everyone was like all afraid of, like way back when, that goes all the way back. Much, much easier, not painful at all. They take a swab, so kind of like a big Q-tip, and they stick it in your nostril, and they go around the outside edge of your nostril, and it only goes like this deep. It doesn't go super far. It was really funny when she was doing it. She was like, I keep hitting something, and I didn't know what I was hitting, and then I realized it was staring me in the face. My nose ring. Yeah, so they just like wiggle a Q-tip around your nose, basically. And she put it in, she set up a little test. She's like, we'll send you an email in about 15 minutes, and you are good to go. You are done. Easy peasy. Great. So I go and I'm waiting to get my email. And something strange happened. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but this was like a little nerve-wracking for me because like you need something to present at the cruise dock, right? Like you need a thing. So after I did this, I had gone to get lunch, and I get an email that the patient portal has like a visit summary for me. So I thought that meant that's where my test results were. So I'm trying to log into the patient portal and I keep getting an error message. It says like, you cannot accept messages from CityMD at this time. And I'm clicking on messages, I'm clicking on care, I'm clicking on tests, like all of the different options that are available. I'm clicking on to see if I could find my results, and there's nothing there. And there's nothing there. Only this error message that I can't accept messages from CityMD. And they use the same portal as some of my other providers. So like I could see all of my other information in there, but it not what I was looking for. I was like, oh goodness gracious. So I'm like, okay. And because I thought that was where the information was going to show up, I was getting, I was getting agitated. I was getting really worried. So I went and I tried to call. There's like an aftercare number. I tried to call the aftercare number. They're, longer than usual wait times due to high call volume. And I was like on there for like probably 15 minutes or so waiting. And I was like, okay, let me try calling the actual location that I was just at, because they only let like, 1 or 2 people in the building at a time. So it's like, hopefully they'll be able to pick up the phone. It kept going straight to voicemail. I'm like, okay. Deep breath. Don't panic. Okay. Let's go finish lunch. And then if I don't have resolution when my lunch is done, I'm going to go back and see if I can get a letter or a paper or something from the CityMD. I wasn't so far away. Okay. I finished my lunch. My lunch is delicious. I had a great salad. Fantastic. And then I checked my email one more time. There is a separate email that just came through from CityMD that had my test results, and they are negative, so I am going on my cruise. But it did not come in the email linking me to the patient portal. It came in its own separate email. So if anyone else is using CityMD, and you start to get agitated because you think your results are in the portal and they're not in the portal and you don't know what to do, take a deep breath, be calm, and give it a few more minutes. There's another email that comes probably another 15 to 20 minutes after that patient portal email comes. I wish I knew that beforehand. I wish I did. But long story short, it worked out. I am COVID negative, so I can go on this cruise, and that is so exciting. I am so looking forward to this. This is like my first real vacation. When I say real vacation, I mean like more than like an overnight or 2-day trip, not driving somewhere, like getting so far out of my element and away and being able to detach. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful week. So let me talk a little bit about the cruise. I'm going to be sailing on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, which is obviously an Oasis class vessel, among the largest in the fleet. It has so much dining options, has a carousel on board. It has the Abyss dry slide where you sit in a little sack and you go down the slide, and it goes like down like multiple decks. I think it's like 5 decks or something like that. It has water slides, so it has both a dry slide and wet slides. They have the Flow Rider, which is like a boogie board surfing simulator thing. There are shows. There is an aqua theater on the boat. An aqua theater on the boat. This is so exciting. There's a zip line, there's a rock climbing wall, there's an ice skating rink. Cats, the musical, is the show on this boat. So much going on. I am so excited. And I get to go on the boat. Building up to this, I couldn't get excited for the vacation. I really couldn't, because everything was pending this negative COVID test. So even though I've had this booked for months, and I knew like, hey, on this day I get to go on the boat. And I know I'm calling it a boat. It's a ship. I know it's a ship for those of you out there. I know. There's something comical about calling it a boat, and I'm sorry if you're one of those people that's like, it's a ship. I'm gonna call it a boat. That being said, because, you can be an asymptomatic carrier, you might not know you have COVID and you have COVID, there's this chance up to the last minute that you couldn't get on. So until I had this test, I just felt like I couldn't get excited about it. I had to keep myself in check, so that way it wouldn't be like a huge letdown if there was a problem. But I got my negative results and now I could get excited, and yes, I'm going on vacation. And I'm taking all of you with me. I will be vlogging while I'm on the ship. So I will, that's sort of preview of things to come. There will be a ton of Oasis of the Seas vlogs coming from this point forward. If you don't want to see a cruise, tune out for a week. I'll be back with other stuff. But for the next week, you are going to be seeing a lot of cruise videos. So I hope you can vicariously enjoy this vacation with me, and I will try to show you as much as I can on this immensely jam-packed, fabulous ship. So with that, I'm going to head out. I got some packing to do, and I will see everybody tomorrow. And until then, stay inspired by. Take care.